let's chat. So, the video that I recorded that you're about to see um, needs a little disclaimer. I'm learning a lot of new things, um, video recording included. Um, I, After watching some of my video, I realized there's something else that I need to learn, and that's I think about a lot of things in my head, words that I'm about to say without actually saying them, and then I kind of continue talking as though like I've already said it. So my apologies for that. I definitely need to work on that. Um, I'm working on videography. I'm working on um, mycology. I'm working on learning how to use a pressure cooker. I'm learning how to paint gel nails and create gel nails. I'm learning lots of things right now. So um, please bear with me on all fronts. And about the video that you're about to watch, it's specific, like the disclaimer part is do not use this as a tutorial. That would be a bad idea. My end result did not work out. I want to say that up front. I will need to do the process over again after having that little trial and error part and doing even more research and finding a different way. It's not necessarily that I found the way to do exactly what I'm looking for because this involves many very specific things. So I'm trying to create a master grain. That's what it's called, not a starter. A master grain substrate mix for lion's mane mushrooms using an all-American pressure cooker. And that's like, it's so specific. So there's not a whole lot of videos that I have found that are, you know, very descriptive on this is how you do it. I have found a lot of videos on all of those things individually, but they're kind of not few and far between. There are a lot of variations of what to do. And that's kind of where I'm like, I don't know. Let's try this. Let's try that. So I want to make a master grain jar slash bag for my substrate because I have a liquid culture. I only have one liquid culture. I would like to make sure that I have enough mycelium to create a full 5-pound block. That being said, I want to start with, less grain so that the culture can expand and take over that grain. I've seen where some people will just put a liquid culture in a larger bag and it works fine. I've seen where, I think more often than not, I see where people will use a liquid culture and they will inoculate a smaller portion in a jar. After my attempt that you're about to see with a jar, I've decided that I don't want to use a jar. I want to just go straight for the bag. The problem with that is it's a small amount of grain, even smaller than what you see in the video, and I have 5-pound bags. So I might see about making a bag. I don't know. Well, that part's up in the air right now. But when I go through the process for round 2, hopefully it will work out and I will post it on here to give a better version, hopefully, of a tutorial type way that you can make a master grain bag for lion's mane mushrooms while using an all-American pressure cooker. all that, like just trying to remember all of that terminology. Everything's so new to me. Everything is so new, and there's so much information out there. So I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you laugh at me, with me, at me. It doesn't matter. I hope you laugh. And I hope that you get something out of it, even if it's not learning the correct process. So I also wanted to mention at the end of the video, there's a 14-minute section of me just trying to figure out if the All-American pressure cooker is doing what it's supposed to, or if it's doing something that means that I need to adjust the temperature, because that is very unclear to me. It is still unclear to me. I did find out though, one of the many things I did wrong in this video is whenever you first put your liquid and your jars or whatever you're sterilizing in the pressure cooker, after you seal the lid and you tighten the wing nuts, you are supposed to put the fire on high, and you are not supposed to put the weight on the steamer. So you have to wait, you have to WAIT for the steam to come out of the steamer before you put the WEHT on top. So I eventually want to learn how to do voiceovers. I think it would be a lot better for this video if I were just able to say, yeah, by the way, that's wrong. This is actually the right way. And that I did that wrong too. I should have done this instead. But I don't know how to do that yet. And I'm learning too much at the moment for that to be a priority. So mushroom babies and living things are going to be like that's the priority right now because they're living. Cool. Enjoy. Hey guys. So as well, I'm going to say, as most of you know, I'm working on some mushroom things. So here's the syringe with the lion's mane culture in it, liquid culture. I'm actually going to go put this back in the fridge because I'm not ready for it yet. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll be back in a second. Alright, so right now I really don't need to disinfect or anything like that because I'm just making up the jar to put into the canner, the pressure cooker. So right now I just have, actually this is a sanitized jar, but just have a 32-ounce jar. I don't know if that's what I should be using or not. But I'm doing a very small portion of everything because I don't actually have, how do I explain? Like the culture isn't, it's not ready. If any of you know anything about yeast, which is also a fungus, sometimes you have to make a yeast starter before you let it do its thing with the big batch, and that's what I'm working on now. So I just need a little bit of this. So I'm doing, instead of using cups to measure, I'm doing the same parts, I guess, but I'm using a 2 tablespoon measuring spoon. So it starts with, doesn't really matter if it's a 2 tablespoon or not, but 5 scoops of all natural hardwood pellets. I'm using oak. And then I'm gonna go get 6 parts water and I'll be right back. All right, so this is after I've added the water, and now I need to let this set for 30 minutes. And I did add water as hot as my tap would go, because the purpose of adding the water is kind of 2-part. It's to fluff up the wood and then to provide moisture, of course, for the mushrooms. So I'm gonna let this set for 30 minutes. Like I said, Alexa, set a 30-minute timer. Alexa, set a 30-minute timer. 30 minutes, starting now. So after that sets for 30 minutes, I'm gonna have to use the wheat berries, and I have hard red spring wheat apparently. So this is a 50-pound bag. It is clearly it's 50 pounds, so I shouldn't be lifting it. And I'm just gonna cut a little hole in it, and I'm gonna portion out everything for future use because this is far too heavy for me to be working with. I have back issues, so when the time comes, I'm gonna add 1 1/4 parts of the wheat berries, and then I'll go into the pressure cooking process. All right, so it's been 30 minutes, and I did give this a shake. So it's pretty dry, well, a lot drier than what it originally looked like because the pellets were so compressed before. So now I'm just gonna add out my wheat berries, and this is, like I said, this is wet red wheat berries, and it is organic, so I don't have to worry about, well, chemicals. Anything else would be killed in the process. Chemicals, I think you might still have traces of it. So I'm just going to shake this up, try to spread out the wheat berries as much as possible. And then I will start working on the pressure cooking process, which this is the first time I'm ever using a pressure cooker, and I'm terrified. I did get an All-American just because I know they're the only company that has the metal-to-metal seal, so I don't have to worry about it exploding in my face. As long as I follow the directions, all of the, 157 of them. It's a little bit overwhelming if I'm honest, but it's okay. I'm excited, and getting it will help me, pave the way to other fun things. Okay, so I know you can't really see. Maybe you can. Yeah, it's filled to about right there. I will open the lid. Give you a peek inside. Sorry, my camera set up kind of weird. Alright, so they say to do a test, and let me grab a bag because I don't want to make a mess on the floor. To do a test to see if the water ratio is correct, you're looking for a specific consistency. So I'm going to pour some in my hand. This is going to be a lot more difficult than I originally anticipated. What does it? All right, so try to get in frame here. Okay, so you have it in your hand, and then you squeeze it, and you're looking for it to form kind of a solid clump. It shouldn't break apart too much. I actually think this might be a little too dry. I might add like 2 tablespoons of water and then try that again because it's supposed to clump together a little bit more than that. All right, so I will pause and I'll be right back. All right, so I poured it over the sink this time, and you can see that does look a lot more like what I've seen it's supposed to look like. So when you squeeze your hand, it clumps up and it stays together if you move your hand around, for the most part. So I'm gonna go put this back in the jar, and I'm gonna work on using that pressure cooker canner thing for the first time ever. So wish me luck. I will not be recording that because it's just too much. Maybe next time. Okay, scary stuff. So I'm just gonna do a quick little video. I'm not actually gonna film the whole process. I have tightened this jar to the point that it moves by itself when you're just touching the outside. Okay, that is good to go in the pressure cooker. This will need to be at 15 psi, so that needs to go on after. Whoops, I have oiled this with, I actually didn't use olive oil because I don't like the consistency that it gives, like when it kind of dries on there. I used sunflower oil. So I'm going to, and I did sanitize all this, and I'm going to fill the bottom to water up to the 3-inch mark there. Then I'm going to put the jar in and close it up and start it and be very scared. Alright, I actually changed my mind about the 3 inches. I feel like that's just too much. I don't want it to overflow. I think I'm going to go 2 inches in the future. I guess it's fine because it's just one jar this time, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so that's in there. I don't even know if I should put it on the side or... I have no idea. Okay, that's fine. We're just going to do that. There's an arrow and a notch. So, over a little bit. Make sure that everything is even there. It is not. Weird. Okay, arrow, notch, and gotta make sure that this is even on both sides. Okay, so it looks good. Now, lifting this up, and I'm going to just like barely tighten it so it doesn't fall down. Okay, that's good. And then the one directly across, same thing. Okay. And then across. Oh, that one's not unloosened enough. And then just a little bit. I feel like I need to check the back to make sure that the lid is on all the way. Yeah, so I think that's the problem. Like, it's wider on this side, like right here, than it is here. And that's because it's not on straight. So I might have to unscrew all these and try again. Alright, trying this again. I think this side actually looks like it's down more. This is a little bit more finicky than I was expecting it to be. Alright, I'm going to stop the video and do the same thing I did before, where I just lift these up and tighten it just enough so it doesn't fall down. And then once I get the lid even and have all those back on, I will start the video again. Okay, I figured it out. How do I explain this without my hands? Because I need both of my hands to show you what I did. Okay. The issue is like, it's going to kind of teeter like a seesaw. So that side goes on really easily, right? Which means this one is not. I knew it. Okay. So you have to use both hands, one on this side and one on this side, to kind of make the pressure balanced a little bit. And then you can loosen both of these and then put them both on. So yeah, I'm going to do that now. Okay, so now I'm going to check all the way around to make sure that this gap here is even on both sides. And I'm going to turn it to check that. So I'll do this just kind of all the way around. And then I'm going to have to check on my own because I can't see what I'm doing right now. Okay, and that is actually more than a full turn. Okay, now that that's figured out, I can move on to the next part. So kind of the same concept here. I'm going to tighten that one down. and then the one across. Okay. So the next thing that I need to do is reread the instructions because there's a lot. I don't know how tight these need to be. And that's my next thing I need to figure out, because I definitely want to be safe with this. I know this is a very dangerous piece of equipment. I mean, it sounds like I'm talking about something else, but yeah, I know this goes here, and it needs to be at 15 psi for 90 minutes. I guess that just, yeah, it just sits on top. So I'm gonna go check how tight these need to be, and then I will be. All right, so just make sure they're all snug, and then yeah, they're pretty snug. I'm gonna go around though with 2 hands and, you know, do that whole thing again. And then I'm gonna put my heat on. I guess I have to look that up too. I think it's high. Starts off at high. My stove goes from 1 to 7, so I'm probably gonna start off at 4 or 5, and then bring it down from there once this starts, you know, doing the thing, because, you know, that's official terminology, doing the thing. Here we go. I'm scared. Okay, it has been 30 minutes since my last check-in. The PSI has gone up to 10, but it seems to have slowed down a little bit. So I am going to increase the heat just by 1 notch. So once that gets to 15, I don't know if I'm going to panic and have to deal with this on my own, or if I'll grab the phone and check back in. We shall see. I don't like that sound. All right, I'm bringing it. I don't know. I don't know how low to put it. 2, maybe? So that's supposed to do the thing between 1 and 4 times per minute. And also you can see the PSI is at 16, 17, somewhere around there. Zoom in there. So I don't know if that's what they described or not. I mean, water's coming out of it and sizzling on the top of the canner. But the pressure gauge says that it's over 15, so I guess that's the sound that I'm looking for, but I'm a little confused. So I will see if I can find a video on what that actually looks like. Okay, so it has not jiggled at all, and it's been several minutes. So I am going to put it up to 3. And I'm just going to sit here and wait till it jiggles. I can definitely hear it boiling. Yeah, terrified. I think that counts as a jiggle, so that's one. That's too much. I mean, does that count as one jiggle, or does that count as, like, how many was that? Like 7, 8 jiggles? I'm so confused. I think that counts as one, because it would jiggle because there is a stream of pressure being released. So as long as it's between 1 and 4 times per minute, we're good. I can see that the gauge is dropping. Okay, it's been a minute. So I'm putting it back up to 3. I think 3 is probably a good setting for my stove, and I just didn't realize that all of the jiggling like at once is really technically only one jiggle. If you're watching this video and you know the answer, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. It's been a minute again. So I'm gonna go back to the 3.5 because that's where it last jiggled. And see how long that takes. I feel like it's about to do it again. Is that one jiggle? That can't be one jiggle. Okay, back down to 3. Because it's constant, it's not stopping at all. I'm so confused. I'm gonna go down some more. I think once I get this figured out and perfected, I'm going to make a video of this process, because it's like, just, you know, sit here for 10-15 minutes, however long it takes, because it is very confusing to know, like, what is a jiggle exactly. Like, what that's doing right now, is that like 30 jiggles, or is that one jiggle? Alright, I think that's been enough time that I can start counting. So when this section of the video hits a certain marker, I will start counting. Starting now. One jiggle. Two jiggles. And it's still going, so this is where I get confused. Okay, so starting the count over, because it's been 1 minute. One jiggle. You know what they say about a watch pot? It never boils. What about a watch jiggler? Does it ever stop jiggling if you keep watching it? I know. A watch jiggler never jiggles. Do you like corny jokes? What's your favorite corny joke? One. Actually, that was two. And I'll start the timer over. I will do 1 more minute of this because it has been consistently 1 to 2 jiggles within a minute. And that started 8 seconds ago. Oh, come on, don't let me down. Give me a jiggle. 10 seconds. I thought I was good. Okay, so that one was inconsistent. My PSI is currently showing 16, though, and when it jiggles a lot. I think we're good. This is one of those weird things, like, my intuition is telling me that this is fine and this is normal. At the same time, I'm really scared that I'm wrong. So, yeah. I guess I'm going to have to do some research. Some more research. Alright, this will probably be the end of the video, so thank you for watching. Please give me all your comments. Just let me know what you think. Share this video with someone who has an all-American pressure cooker, so maybe they can help me out and figure out what I'm doing wrong, if I'm doing wrong. I would greatly appreciate any and all input. Yeah, thanks.